Hi, I'm Allie. Welcome back to Haven's Kitchen. Today we're going to talk a little bit about refrigerator organization. I've been teaching cooking for about 25 years, and one of the things that comes up over and over again is I don't know how to stock my fridge, I don't know what goes in the fridge, I don't know how to keep my fridge organized. We've come to the conclusion that if you've got a clean fridge, you've got a clear mind, and you can't lose. So part of building your confidence as a home cook and feeling like you got this is having certain things always kind of available for you. Some in your pantry, some in your fridge, but also just not having the chaos of like rifling through and not knowing what's still good and not knowing what's gone bad. And also not having any of the guilt of having to throw things out because they're past their due date or you just haven't used them in time. If this sounds like something that would be helpful for you and you're interested in feeling more confident in the kitchen, be sure to subscribe to see this and all of our future tips and tricks videos. All right, let's head to the fridge. So let's talk first about what to keep in the fridge versus what to keep out of the fridge, right? There are things like onions and garlic, basics that you're probably going to be using a lot in your cooking. Those stay out of the fridge. But then you have other things that are kind of what you use all the time. Citrus, lemons and limes, a nice hunk of cheese, mustard, any condiment that you've opened. If you've opened it, it goes in the fridge. And one thing that I like to tell our students a lot that they don't necessarily know is things like walnuts and almonds, grains that have holes around them, like a farro or a brown rice. Once that bag is open, it's good to keep it in the fridge. It'll just keep it fresher for longer, and that's great. Things like flour, you can keep in the freezer, but you can also keep them in the fridge. When it comes to the organization of your fridge, we like to talk a lot about FIFO. That's first in, first out. So you don't want to have a milk that's going to expire sooner in the back behind the new milk that you buy. People find that happens a lot. So just make sure when you bring home new groceries that you have the things that are expiring first in front and put the new stuff in back. So it's going in first, it's coming out first. When it comes to things like greens and herbs, leafy lettuces, things like that, what we've done, and we've talked about this in our herbs video, is you kind of bring them home, you take them out, you wrap them in a damp paper towel, and you just store them in the produce drawer. It's nice because everything's ready for you to go, and it also keeps them for longer so they don't go bad. Our fridge might not look exactly like your fridge, and that's totally fine. You know what you like and you know what you use the most often. So the only key here really is just keeping things organized so you know what you have. So in our case, we know that we use a lot of butter and we know that we use a lot of cheese. We have it all here, we have it labeled, we have it organized, so we know what we have and we know when we make a shopping list what we need to buy. If you were going to be storing like raw chicken or raw meat because you were getting ready to make it that night, we always suggest putting that on the bottom shelf just in case any of the juices find their way out. You don't want them up here kind of going down the rest of the fridge. You want to keep them low so if anything happens, it's an easy cleanup. It's a good idea to have really good storage and organization in your fridge. Again, it's all about knowing what you have in there and not kind of finding something that expired 6 months ago in the back corner. So we keep a lot of our condiments and things on sort of a lazy Susan in the middle of the fridge. We also have nice bins that we've bought that keep our sauces and our citrus and everything sort of organized. We have eggs up here and apples you don't need to keep in the fridge, but everyone on our team likes them cold, so we keep them up there. For some of our herbs that we know that we're going to be using pretty shortly, we keep them in a glass just like this, standing up in the fridge with some water, kind of like they're growing still in the water in the cup. We know that we're going to be using these in a day or two, and we want to make sure that we use those first, so we keep them there. One thing you want to keep in mind about the door is that it does tend to get a little warmer than deeper into the fridge. So just have that in mind. If there's anything that you really want to make sure is cold, you wouldn't put raw meat here. Up here we have all of our nuts and seeds in glass jars. It's a great way to store them. We take them out of the bag, we put them in a jar, kind of saves us on, cleanup. I also have 5 kids, and they have this incredible way of leaving like a bag of something wherever they go. So they've eaten all the chips, but there are like 2 left in the bag. I take everything out of the bag when I bring it home from the market, and I put it into a glass jar, whether that's in the pantry or the fridge. Again, so I know exactly what I have and everything's super clear and I know what I need to go buy. Last but not least, a couple things to always have in your fridge. Eggs, if you eat them. Lemons and limes for zesting, because we're sort of obsessed with that. A hunk of Parmesan cheese, if you eat it. A good mustard, because good mustard is important. And of course, our Haven's Kitchen sauces, because they make any meal super quick, super delicious, and super easy. So there you have it, a little guide to fridge organization. Remember, a clear fridge is a clear mind, is a confident cook. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like it and subscribe to see all of our future tips and tricks videos. Thank you so much for watching, and cook happy.